Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Remember, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another App Daily News with your hockey coach, Guru called FRENCHY. Today, episode number 244. What do you have on the menu, coach, today? First of all, let's talk about Nick SUZUKI, great captain for the Montreal Canadiens, and the recap game between the Montreal Canadiens and the Ottawa Senators. Then, I want to talk about Greg RIVET trade happening a couple years ago, and the Montreal Canadiens benefit of this trade. Finally, some news around the Montreal Canadiens. So let's dive in, talking about my first subject. But before we start, we invite you, please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Show, and leave me a comment about this episode. My first subject of the day, guys, about the recap game between the Montreal Canadiens and the Ottawa Senators. Montreal lost by the score at 5-4. Then at the end, I'm going to talk about Nick SUZUKI. No, RHP. What? Yes, just wait a little bit. First of all, the Montreal Canadiens tried to come back twice during the game. They was losing 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. They come back to tie the game 3-3. They're losing 4-3 to come back again. They did it for a score 4-4, but obviously the last couple of minutes remaining of this game, Montreal gave a goal by the captain of the Ottawa Senators, and they lost by the score of 5-4. What we learned during that game, guys, this is a great game for the Montreal. Learn something. First of all, perseverance. Never give up. The work ethic, the effort. They want to build that culture inside the team, and that's happening yesterday. And that's the great things what happening for the Montreal Canadiens yesterday. As a fans, it was an excited game. Obviously, they lost, but you want to have your team pick a better pick at the end of the year. That's the best way happening for the Montreal Canadiens yesterday against Ottawa Senators. This was the last game for the Montreal Canadiens before the All-Star game. And then RHP had 2 goals yesterday. Is 4th and the 5th of the season. Nick SUZUKI finally got 2 assists last night. Then Kirby Dach continues to performing for the Montreal Canadiens. Score is 11 goals of the season. And Montreal have 2 goals on the power play. 1 Dach and 1 from Hoffman is 9 goals of the year for the Montreal Canadiens. Now, I want to talk about a little bit more about the back in the future. What are you talking about, coach? And 2018, at the Vegas Golden Knight rookies, it was the first camp for Nick SUZUKI. Remember, he was drafted 13 overall by the Golden Knight. Then, during the same camp, the Vegas Golden Knight invite RHP to the camp. Came from Mario Pouliot, the scout for the Vegas Golden Knight, is the son of the coach. At that time, RHP was playing for Rouen Aranda. Still working, by the way, Pouliot for the Vegas Golden Knight. At this camp, they was playing on the same team, SUZUKI and RHP. And SUZUKI still remember about RHP. Just give you an idea how this works. During that camp, by the way, the Nick SUZUKI got traded to the Montreal Canadiens. After the camp, the Vegas Golden Knight did not sign RHP. He returned in the draft for the following year, and the Montreal Canadiens select RHP, and that moment he became a member of the Montreal Canadiens. Yesterday, guys, during the game against Ottawa Senators, he scored his 4th and the 5th goal of the year. He already have 5 goals in the last 7 games with the Montreal Canadiens. This is a kid, never give up. It's another Gallagher 2.0. If you look at his goal, they're all in front of the net. It's a rebound or a tip, and that's how he works. Harvey-Pinard, really smart player. Martin St-Louis loved the detail of his game. He's not shy to bring Harvey-Pinard on the ice, and he said, look, I'm still constantly learning about him, but I'm very impressed about his performance. Again, it's another player, like many others, like Martin St-Louis did it, beating right now the odds. Nobody gave a chance to Harvey-Pinard, and he take advantage right now of the injury for the Montreal Canadiens to get a spot with the Montreal, maybe until the rest of the season. It's still just a couple of games, but right now, we really like to see Harvey-Pinard performing with the Montreal Canadiens. This concludes, guys, my first subject of the day. I would like to hear from you. What do you think about the game, Montreal Canadiens against Ottawa Senators? And leave me a comment about the performance of HP. And let's move on now for my second subject of the day. My next subject, guys, about the Nick SUZUKI, a great captain. I understand he did not performing the last 25 games. He has only 9 points with 2 goals. But you have to remember, guys, that it's been this way the first 4 seasons in NHL. He always have a slump in December and sometime in January. So it's just normal what happening to him. But I want to mention to you why I said Suzuki is a great captain. First of all, he's really a great on the transition between the youngest, the rookies for the Montreal Canadiens. He still have a 4 years experience in NHL, and then he's a good transition with the older for the Montreal Canadiens. Every teammates on this team likes Nick Suzuki. One thing we really like from him is he's really calm. He never panic. You can see he control his emotion during the game, after the game, during the practice. Is a guy is well educated and a great manners as a captain for the Montreal Canadiens. 2 days ago, Montreal Canadiens, after the practice, he got some interview with some reporter from the media. He got a lot of questions, guys, about his play in the last couple of weeks. They asked him about his productivity. They asked him about his TOI. Do you believe he played too many minutes? He asked him what he think about his long shift on the ice. During those questions, guys, every time, every question, what happening to him, guys, he never make any excuse. He understood everything. He did not bite to give an answer controversy. He stay calm, he never panic, and he knows his role. He knows right now he don't produce on offensive of the game, but he's smart enough to understand that situation, and that's the reason why I believe the Montreal Canadiens really like him. Another thing I would say to you, whatever happening to him at the beginning of the season, he had a great start of the season. Now he's on the slump. Honestly, he got 2 points yesterday, but still, it's not enough in the last couple of weeks. But he stay calm and he's always stay with consistency about his behavior. And this what is really important as a captain for the Montreal Canadiens. The pressure to play for the Montreal Canadiens is big. The pressure to have a big contract is big. But he carry on this with some calm, with consistency to answer each question every single day. And that's the reason why the Martin Saint-Louis and the Montreal Canadiens staff management love to have Nick Suzuki as a captain for the Montreal Canadiens. Finally, Nick Suzuki leave for the All-Star game tomorrow. He's going to be at the Sunrise, represent the Montreal Canadiens for the second time back-to-back year. And leave me a comment about this subject, and let's move on for my third subject of the day. Today, guys, I want to talk about the trade of Greg RIVET and what happening for the Montreal Canadiens from these players. Let's see on the paper what we did. First of all, guys, he was drafted in 1992, 68 overall pick. Then he got traded to the San Jose Sharks with round number 5, 2008. 146 overall. They got from them the first round pick 2007, and they got Josh George. With a pick, Montreal Canadiens got Max Pacioretty for that pick. Then Josh got traded to the Buffalo Sabres for the second round 2016 and the 2016 round from Minnesota from the Buffalo Sabres. With that pick, the Montreal Canadiens trade after that with the Chicago Blackhawks, and they got Andrew Shaw and the 7th round pick 2021 for the Montreal Canadiens, the 222 overall pick. Then, from that part, guys, let's stay with Andrew Shaw. They got, after that, a 7th round pick, a 3rd round pick, another 3rd round pick, a 2nd round pick, and with all those picks, they got Jan Mysak. They trade for another pick, the 3rd round 2022. They got Vincent Rover, and finally, with a trade pick they trade those picks to the St. Louis Blues, and they got Jake Allen on that pick trade with the St. Louis Blues. On the flip side, let's go back up with Max Pacioretty, guys. They got Nick Suzuki, Thomas Tatar, the 2nd round pick 2019. They become, after that, Matthias Norlander, and finally, they trade the round 5th 2019 for Jacob Leguerrier. If you think about this, guys, they still have Nick Suzuki, captain of Montreal Canadiens. They have Jake Allen, the backup of Carey Price for a couple of years now. And then they still have Jan Mysak, Matthias Norlander, and Vincent Rover, and the Ab prospect Montreal Canadiens. Mysak and Norlander play for the Laval Rocket, and Rover play with right now in OHL. Just give you an idea, guys. Sometime a trade. You never know what it would be the end after a couple of years. So just curious to sharing with you today this trade of Greg RIVET. I would like to hear from you. Leave me a comments about this trade. What you think? Let's finishing this episode with my last subject of the day. My last subject of the day, guys, a quick one. First of all, the Montreal Canadiens, after the game yesterday, they returned Jesse Allen and Belzile to the Laval Rocket. They're going to play this Friday for the Laval. Finally, the Montreal Canadiens, the next two games is going to be only February 11, February 12 during the Super Bowl weekend. This is a tradition in Montreal. They always play at 12:30 afternoon. First game is going to be the Saturday against the New York Islanders and Beau Horvat. And finally, Montreal hosts the next day Connor McDavid from the Edmonton Oilers, February 12. This concludes, guys, all the subject we have for this episode. Hopefully, you enjoyed this episode. We talk about the captain, Nick SUZUKI, recap game between Ottawa Senators and the Montreal Canadiens, the trade of Greg RIVET, what bring to the Montreal right now, and finally, some news about the Montreal Canadiens. But before we leave, please, we invite you, don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to our Canadian show, and leave me a comments about this episode. And of course, we want to remind you, you have greatness inside of you, and we wish you an amazing, great, blessing day, everybody.